Hi everyone, and welcome to our show, Voices of Hofstra University. Today we will be talking to Professor Patricia Navarra, Adjunct Associate Professor of Writing Studies and Composition at Hofstra University. Hi Professor, how are you?
I'm good, Katie. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So your students claim that you have a very unique way of teaching. Can you elaborate a little bit more?
Thanks. Everything I know about teaching, I know from working with good directors, notably David Kaplan and the late great Gene Frankel, who is also the father of Off-Broadway. What they've taught me is that you never step into the same river twice. So we bake a cake today, you take the same recipe or a new recipe, and you do that tomorrow. You can't repeat semesters, you can't repeat classes. You stay connected with your audience, you listen, you make adjustments as you go. And because mine is a skills-based class, much like my directors, you always reward good behavior where students understand they're successful and they can build upon that.
Wow, that sounds like that'll be really helpful toward your students.
Yeah.
So you also teach the study abroad program in Ireland, correct?
I do. Yeah.
So we actually have a clip here from one of your former students, Rachel Gurvich, about her experience in Ireland. So let's take a look.
I'm Rachel Gurvich, major in psychology, and I went to Ireland this past summer, 2015. I had wanted to travel for a while, and I figured that this was my last chance the summer before senior year. I was ready to study abroad, and I heard that Professor Navarra was just incredible, and so she would really make the trip special. Navarra was great. She was probably like the perfect professor to lead this trip. She knew what she was doing because she'd been on the trip before. And she knew exactly where to take us. The classes, they were very relaxed. It was in her room, like in the suite and on the campus where we studied, and she gave us breakfast every morning. It was a very small group, and we just talked about what we were learning about, and we could just go off topic, and Ireland itself was our classroom. One of the days when we first got there, we were touring Sligo, which is where Yeats lived. And she brought us to one of the aisles where he wrote a poem, and then she ended up reading the poem while we were there, and just hearing that connection and having her be so excited about this particular poet and this poem and being there, she made the trip more exciting for all of us. Overall, it was an amazing trip. If they were doing the program again and I could go, I would love that. I'd follow Professor Navarra to another country if she was doing that. So I would definitely want to go back.
Wow, that looks like such an amazing trip. It sounds like Rachel had a really great experience.
It was an amazing trip. She did.
Yeah,
she
so you're also a woman of many talents, and you have history with theater and also with a show entitled Tony and Tina's Wedding, correct?
Yes, correct.
So can you tell me a little bit more about your role in that specific production?
Sure. I was one of the original authors, and I was in the original cast. It was the longest running comedy in off-Broadway history. The scale in which we did it was unheard of in New York City. The very first day we did it, it was a real wedding, which took place in real time. We baked the ziti. The very first day we did it, Robin Williams sent us flowers and said, "So sorry I can't come. Love, Uncle Vinny." And we knew we were anointed by the master.
Wow, that sounds like a really great person to get recognition from.
Oh, it was astounding.
Yeah, so we actually have a clip from your involvement with Tony and Tina's Wedding, so let's take a look.
Tony and Tina's Wedding is an immersive theater experience unlike anything else. The show is about the wedding of an Italian-American couple who play up their stereotypes to the fullest. The production is able to captivate the audience by including them as members or guests of the wedding.
It's all over some other guy? Are you kidding me?
Pat Navarra was one of the original cast members when the show first premiered in New York in 1985. Not only did she have a role in the performance of the show, but she also had a hand in the development and creation of the production. Since then, the show has expanded to be performed all over North America. Many of Tony and Tina's family and friends have shared in the laughs and memories of their big day, but the couple is always looking to include others in their special moment.
So cute.
Wow, that looked like a really fun production to be involved with.
It was amazing.
So after watching that, I was hoping that we can do a little acting exercise together.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
So.
let's take a step back.
Okay.
This is a Sandy Meisner exercise before we spoke about never stepping into the same river twice. So you've got the script, you've got the director, you've got the production all around you, but you have to be alive every day.
Okay.
So I'm going to say something and you're going to repeat it. We're going to repeat back and forth until something changes, and then we'll change it. You've got brown eyes.
You've got brown eyes.
I've got brown eyes.
I've got brown eyes.
You've got brown eyes.
You have blonde hair.
I have blonde hair.
I have blonde hair.
You have blonde hair?
You have an attitude.
I have an attitude?
Yeah, you have an
Oh,
attitude.
you have an attitude.
You look a little sad.
I look a little sad.
You look a little sad.
I look a little sad.
Or funny. You look a little funny.
I look a little funny.
You have a red cardigan.
You have a red cardigan. You're natural. You're natural.
Thank you. So thank you so much for coming today, Professor Navarra. We really enjoyed having you.
Oh, thanks. It was great.
Yeah, you're welcome. So join us next week here on Voices of Hofstra University.